Welcome to the Service Alliance Group podcast, your home for service industry news, training, and interviews with experts in the home service industry.
What's going on, everybody? TK here with the Service Alliance Group, and I'm super excited because we are doing our first of many Service Alliance Group partner spotlights. And we're going to be going through highlighting all of our partners. We've got some awesome partners. I'm not going to lie. We have some people that have come alongside us in this journey, and we just feel almost obligated to highlight them because they're just awesome. And when we first came up with this idea at our recent retreat, first person that popped in my mind was TMM ACADEMICS because they've been there from day one. They've been there before the Service Alliance Group existed. They were there before the Appliance Alliance Group existed. They were there before the Appliance Guy Picker even existed. As many of you have heard the story before, Brother B was the person that inspired me to get on YouTube and start talking about appliance repair. So, as always, I got my boy EJ with me, and he's going to introduce our special guest and our partner spotlight of today. EJ, take it away.
Man, that's a heck of an intro, too. I hope to only add to it. Our brother, Brandon, Brother B, with TMM ACADEMICS. Man, we got so much love for you and so much appreciation. You have been one of the biggest supporters for us. And I think by obligation, TK meant the honor. We have the honor. We feel like
Honor
we have to share what you're doing with the rest of the community as much as we can. I'm a TMM ACADEMICS alumni. I can say that. I took the hands-on sealed system training, and I'll tell you, I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. I came home and made my money back ×2 in the first week and ×10 in the first month. So without further ado, Brandon, Brother B.
Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing tonight?
Excellent.
Good, man.
Thank y'all for the wonderful intros. Thank you, Brother TK. That's heartfelt, really, from the bottom of my heart. And EJ, thank you as well, brother. Thank you for the shout out.
Absolutely.
So, Brandon, we'll start this off. Tell everybody. I know we're going to focus on TMM ACADEMICS, but there is no TMM ACADEMICS without Brother B and your partner Rick. Why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about who you are and what kind of made TMM happen? What was the thing that made it happen, and what makes it tick?
Well, EJ, great question. For those who don't know me, my name is Brandon. I often go by the moniker Brother B. And you know, like EJ said earlier, I started doing YouTube about 6-7 years ago. And when I started doing it, I was doing videos on like COD versus warranty and how to run a service call. And there wasn't a lot of that subject matter out at that time. So what started happening was I was leaving like my email on the description, and then people were responding to me like, hey, look, how do I do this? And people in like Africa and Australia and stuff were addressing me like, hello, sir, I have a whirlpool, blah, 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 blah. It's not spinning. And I started seeing like, man, this social media has reach. And then people started asking me like training, and do I offer like ride-alongs and stuff like that. And then the light bulb went off right away. I said, you know what? I probably could make a little coin doing this, because there wasn't really too many people doing it. Honestly, it was only Samurai, and he's who inspired me. Once he gave up, I was like, whoa, who's gonna continue running with this? So, I came on, and I'm very grateful for this channel, Service Alliance, because I appreciate the demographics that you guys reach. I feel like I can't reach them, and I feel like you connect to a different audience. And at the end of the day, we're both preaching the same message, both channels. So we just we're spread far into this community, and we have voices. So I want to thank you guys for having me on here, and I'd like to talk about TMM Academics. TMM Academics, I started it alone, and my very first attempt of doing something, I realized very quickly that this is not a one-man show. You need help doing these situations. Around that time, my business partner, Richard Zilka, he as well was doing like a YouTube channel, but his YouTube channel was more like kind of the stuff he does now, very technical, him giving lectures and seminars. And I used to even watch him, and I would gain and learn from his knowledge. So I noticed that his channel got taken off one day, like completely gone. And I couldn't believe it, but I knew he worked at the local vocational school in my area. So I reached out to one of the students that were there that I knew, and I asked him, like, hey, can you ask your professor if he's okay if I meet him? So I went into his office. I sat down with him, and I don't know how he believed in me, honestly, because I was saying a lot of things that weren't in existence yet. I was like, man, I want to get this training center. I want to do this. I got these YouTube people, they fly. And I was, mind you, Rick's like 56, 55. Rick, if you're watching this, please, I hope I ain't bomb your age. But he's probably about 10 years older than me. So he wasn't really with the technology and the fingerprint, the digital fingerprint that social media has, especially YouTube. So he was a little, but money talks and, BS walks. So I was like, look, I'll pay you. And that's when I really got his attention. And then when he started seeing like people were actually paying for this and people were willing to come down, that's when he said, okay, Brandon, I'll partner with you. And I'm glad that he did. Because at the time that he was asking for my help and he was soliciting my help, I only had like 5 years in the game. I wasn't really in my opinion, comfortable charging people. And I only had about 5 years in the game. I was like, maybe I'll lean on somebody or partner with somebody that got a little bit more experience and cachet. And we bring the two, minds together. And he agreed. And in the beginning, it was hard for us. We used to have to rent out at like the flea market or swap shops. And the reason is no one wanted to rent to us because we were using torches and doing compressors, and people were like, whoa, what is that? No, we're not doing that. So I had to get it where I can. And then once Rick came on board, we really decided, let's professionalize this thing. Let's burn all bridges and let's go all in. And we did. And we rented out this nice big warehouse, and we converted it from an industrial complex into a school. We changed the floors, we put tables, we put whiteboards, we started bringing in appliances. We gave it like a classroom setting, and it worked. And people started coming, and and the rest has been history. So in a nutshell, that's how TMM Academics came about, and that's what has me here talking to you, gentlemen.
Amen. That's awesome, man. I love that that you took something that you were passionate about and you knew was a need, and you filled it. I've always wanted to get into training, but I know that that's not my lane. But for those of you guys and gals out there that have never been to a TMM training, Brandon B, brother B, Brandon, he's only half the story, because he's got his partner Richard, and this dude, when you talk about super techs, Brandon's a good tech. Don't get me wrong, he's a real good tech, but Richard is one of those people that I would put up against any technician. Richard's one of those people that he makes it. The videos that I've seen, I haven't had the honor to come down and do one. I'm going to, I promise. But the way this man presents the content that he's going over and teaches, he breaks it down in simplistic terms. Because the thing that I've struggled with in the past, and the reason that I like the way you guys do it, is a lot of times if you're a new technician, a lot of that stuff goes over your head. And you and him both have a way of getting with the students at the level that they're at and showing them, hey, this isn't really that complicated. This big tech sheet, this big schematic or diagram that you're looking at, it's really simple if you just look at it in very simplistic terms and break it down in some simplistic terms. Some of the best learning I've gotten over the years were from simple YouTube videos that you recorded of Rick just up there going over a diagram and talking about the breakdowns. So yeah, you guys got it going on over there. I love that. And EJ, you can speak to it a little bit better than I can. How was your experience at TMM? Because you actually went down there and did the thing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Brother B invited me to come down and check out and give an honest review. And I liked it so much that I gave marketing efforts and shout outs the entire week, took pictures and video because I really wanted to promote this and share it with the community as well. I went in with some experience in sealed systems, and what they did is they had a structured format where he went over the basics, the theory of refrigeration, and then the components and what each one does and how the entire refrigeration cycle works together. And then they went into the breakdown of troubleshooting. What does it look like when certain things happen? And how to find it in real hands-on experiences. Every day we touch something with our hands. We had torches in our hands. We were taking apart refrigerators. And at the end of the week, we all had our own refrigerator to repair, sealed system repair. And we had to get the refrigerator cooling before we could go home. He locked the doors and held us captive. A couple of us took a little extra time, and he wanted to leave, but he wouldn't let us go. So he makes sure that you get this. And I'll tell you, the tag team of Brandon and Rick, really, it'd be hard for anybody to go and not get it, because the two different styles of teaching and communicating just really helped get it in. So they did a combo effort with Rick would come in with the technical high level stuff, and then Brandon would come in and just give us a different teaching style that
tag team
made it so easy to just understand. But Brandon, I want to turn you loose. I want to screen share a minute.
Before we do that, can I touch on some things y'all gentlemen spoke on?
Absolutely.
I'd like to go into depth about me and Richard's training, our style, and what you can expect, and the differences between he and I. Imagine like you were trying to be a UFC fighter, right? You came to me and you said, I want to sign up to be a UFC fighter. Well, me and Rick are like two different animals. I'm an actual in the field, 9 to 5. I'm doing it. I'm in the customers' homes. I'm seeing what's new. I'm knowing the ways to grab the torch, the little secret screw behind the blower wheel. Like that's when I get my hands on my students, I love to watch them take things apart. I love to see them doing that because as someone that does it daily in the home, I get to see like, oh, that's not gonna work out there. He's gonna do this and that wrong. And before they do it, I'm already like, look, you're gonna do this. Here's what's gonna happen, and then you're gonna have a headache there. And then you see the light bulb go off, like, oh, you're right. Now my brother Rick, that's 40 years of textbook, 40 years of in the class, 40 years of in behind on the screen. So you get a lot of theory with him, but with me, you get all the practicality. And like, this is what's out there, real life. So that too, when you pour it into the students, they leave not just technically sound, but they know what to look for out there. They know tricks, hacks. You know, I'll tell you one quick story. If you want to recharge a system, right? You know, put Freon into a system. You read that, right? Oh, how do you do that? Oh, connect, hold. But then when you do it in real life, you don't know which way the vacuum pump turns on. You don't know which hose goes where. You don't know, do I do it upside? Like, reading it, learning it from YouTube, all that's good. But you have to come down here and you have to practically, cause you know what I love about my program? It exposes you to your weaknesses. Mm-hmm. You give a guy an assignment, okay? This is what I want everybody to do. I showed you guys already how to do a vacuum. Everybody stayed around, took notes, watched. Okay, now I need you to do the same thing. What my program does is it exposes you to your own self. Because if you don't know how to use certain tools or, you know, certain individuals, just their physical dimensions, they get exposed to like, wow, I'm really signing up for this. You know, a guy may watch me on TV or on YouTube and say, you know what, I'm going to sign up for that. But they don't realize, like, man, I'm on the ground. I'm fighting with an evaporator. I'm tilting the fridge back, ripping the condenser from the, like, this program is like nothing out there because it's not virtual. It's not something you read. It's lecture mixed in with actual hands-on theory. And we take pride that we give all our students their own units to work on. So if they destroy and burn up the liners, who cares? I'd rather them do the headaches in the school than do them in the customer's home.
Yeah,
I know I burnt my freezer evaporator wall.
Did you?
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, B, because I mean, I can speak for me personally. I can read something a million times and it's over my head. It doesn't sink in. But if I get out there and I put my hands on something once and I can take it apart and I can diagnose and I can do all that, that's how I learn. And I feel like the majority of blue collar folks, the type of people that are in this trade, that's how we learn. We don't learn on going on the internet or you can learn some stuff that way. But when you got that hands-on experience, I mean, that's what it's all about for me, is that hands-on experience. That I gotta get down to Florida and get me some of that.
I'll tell you, as we put the homepage on so you can see some of the pictures while we talk, we had a morning grind this morning, and we're watching this at a later date. But we talked about the most effective way to train people. And it came from John Maxwell, and the method is called IDEA, IDEA, instruction, demonstration, experience, and then assessment. And that's exactly what you get every single day when you're training at TMM Academics. You get the instruction, and then they demonstrate it, and then you try it, and they give you feedback the entire time. And everything that you do, you're getting that full instruction throughout the whole week. And by the time you leave on Friday, you know what you're doing. You're still going to have some learning to do in the field, but you're not going to be a stranger to it. So check out some of the pictures here.
Oh, that was Gasper there.
Yeah, it is Gasper and Aiden. And that's Brother Rick. There's EJ.
Oh,
so,
look at him.
We have celebrities come down to our program. What do you want from me?
We was really there. So, and we've talked a lot about the sealed system, but let's take a look at the courses that you do offer. This is what's on the website right now. The March Beginner Sealed System in Espanol.
Yeah, because we're bilingual over here. We do teach in both languages.
What?
That may come out as one sentence. And for 1 second in this podcast, yeah, we teach in Spanish. But be clear, that's massive when you think about it, because I don't know any other Latino appliance repair training programs out there. I don't.
Para mi amigos habla español. Perfecto.
So the next training that's coming up at the moment is June, Beginner Sealed System. I'm going to click on this and you tell us about it, Brandon.
Sure.
Tell us what they're going to get out of that.
All right. So can you scroll down a little? Thank you. Okay. So where it says about the event, where it says read more, can we start there?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, sir. So day one, when you get there, we get into the refrigerants. We talk the two most well, we talk three, but two are really we key in on. We talk R12 slightly, 134A, R600, and we don't just talk them. You work on these products. We get into the components. EJ alluded to that earlier. Your different components, what they are. You work with gauges. You work with recovery machines, cylinders, vacuum pumps. We get into lock ring out here. We talk brazing. We give you prep stations where you prep first before you go on a machine. We teach you how to use turbo torch, oxyacetylene. We go into the PSIs. What are the PSIs for a system that has a leak or undercharge? What is a system that may look overcharged? What's a restriction look like?
Let's talk about that a sec, Brandon, because sure. I'll tell you, that last day, the diagnosis, that was the biggest eye-opener for me, where I had some experience. I've done probably about a dozen or so before I came, but I was struggling. And I didn't really understand how to diagnose. I was one of those guys that just went to the LGs and replaced the compressor and didn't understand why it was happening or what else it could be when I replaced the compressor and still didn't fix it. That's because it wasn't the only problem. The way you explained undercharge, overcharge, restrictions, and insufficient compressor.
Damn, I'm proud of you. You remembered that. Good job, EJ. Yeah. And we get into the PSIs of it, Gentlemen, may I go on record and state, we're all businessmen here, correct? We all want to expand our business. We all want to offer our customers, professionalism. I know, EJ, don't feel bad. At least you knew how to change the compressor. I know some guys that they know if the unit has a leak or not by cutting the tubing and listening to see how much Freon comes out. And if Freon comes out, then they say, well, it got to be the compressor. And if no Freon comes out, they say, well, then it got to be a leak. I know many guys that operate like that, but we don't teach that. We teach the right way. We teach you how to access the system. We teach you how to use your manifold gauges. And we offer two styles of gauges down here. We use digital and we also use analog. So another thing that's important, guys, a lot of these manufacturers now, I just became LG authorized maybe a year ago. man, that was one of the biggest milestones in my career, I must say. But I won't even get into that. But what made it possible was when they asked me on the application, do you do seal systems? I gladly said yes. But then there was another one directly there under that said, but do you do R600? And boy, it felt good to say yes. And you know, these trainings, they're not to extract money out of you and me make a living from this. I do this as a side hustle, if you will. But my 9 to 5, I get it out like how you guys get it. But I understand that there's a need for this. I understand that there are some other facilities, there are some other platforms out there, and they're all great. But we're different. And it's not in a bad way or in a good way. We're just different. What makes us different is our approach. There's no 10 guys gathering around one instructor and watching him or her do it. No. With me, I love to put you directly under the spotlight and watch you do it and observe you and critique. And that's really where, you know, we differentiate ourselves from other programs out there.
Absolutely. Let's get back to the details here. So this beginner sealed system is a 5-day, 40-hour training covering refrigeration and sealed system. July, you have the advanced sealed system. Now I believe this class was created after I came through. It's probably because you knew people like me might need more because there's so much to it. I'm just teasing. But this is a 3-day, 24-hour. Is it over a weekend? It looks like starts on Friday.
Yeah, Friday all day, Saturday all day, and Sunday all day.
Looks like we're covering a lot of the same stuff, but probably much more in depth. Is that correct?
Yes and no. The difference between the two is that basic, we ask. Basic is like if you don't really know anything about anything. I mean, if I ask you questions like what's a thermistor, what's a defrost thermostat, what's a bimetal, what's a heater element, what are gaskets, how's a damper work, how do you check an evap fan? Like I ask you all those questions and I see, yeah, you probably need that basic. Come on to that basic. We're going to walk you through the whole system, take you from zero to hero. Now, if you're a guy like yourself, you've done a lot, you don't really need all that. You just want the meat and potatoes. Yeah, we go hardcore here. We expect we don't sell this to just anybody. I personally turn people away from this program. People are like, oh man, I just started following you and I want to learn seal systems. I want to come to your 3-day course. Yeah, okay. And how does a condenser fan motor work? What's that? Yeah, I'll see you in basic.
Yeah, I hear you.
Did I say that 3-day training is $1,200? What's the price on that training? Wow, $1,200. I don't know if you guys have shopped around, but that is a really good deal for a 3-day training. Just to give you an idea, similar trainings that I've seen out there are $2,000 to $3,000 and more. So, I mean, that's a deal right there. I wouldn't mind taking the advanced sealed system training myself. And one thing that I've noticed, and I also noticed that I'm sitting behind this fridge down here. Do y'all see me?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Maybe Brandon will look better down there.
Oh, you messed me up, man. I was gonna tap the system while I was back there and see what was going on with this thing. You said in your course they get to do turbo torch, they get to do oxyacetylene. And I'm not calling anybody out, but I follow everybody. I follow every training academy out there. And I see them teaching brazing in a lot of these courses with a little like Coleman map gas type thing.
Let me ask you a question. And I'm so sorry to interrupt. What you practice in the school is what you're going to do in the field. So our mission is to mimic real world work life situations. The same tools you go in the house with is the same tools you're gonna do in the school. The same habits. You don't protect the floor. You know how many people I have to get on about protecting the floor? Brother, you didn't protect the floor. Brother, control your torch. Brother, wear your safety glass. Like all these little things, all day the students may think I'm just being anal, but what I'm creating is good habits, so that when they go to the street and they doing the jobs down in the customer's home, they remembering all the little things we enforce on them.
I love that, because one of my biggest struggles when I first got into doing sealed systems was, which torch do I use? Do I do turbo torch? Do I do oxyacetylene? Do I do MAP gas? Not many people do MAP gas. I know a few people out there, but it sounds like to me when they come to your course, they're going to get to experience all of it, and then they're going to be able to say, okay, well, I like the turbo torch, or I like the oxyacetylene. I imagine most people, once you go oxyacetylene, you can't go back. I mean, that's been most people's experience from what I've heard.
May I say something, EJ, on that, please?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. They both have strengths and they both have weaknesses. What I like about the turbo torch is one cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
It holds more, and it's a very simple strike. You hear me? And you're in the game. But here's the drawback why I don't like it and why I don't use it. The cone is too reckless. It's too intense.
Yeah.
You may be trying to hit one little area, but you're warming up everything else around it.
That's how I burnt that freezer liner.
EJ, you notice I keep trying to sweep that under the rug, but
Yeah.
you keep bringing it up.
Hey, it's real though, and you mentioned you're bringing in real appliances that are not somebody's personal refrigerator.
Yeah.
And there's value in being able to practice in an environment where you're not being judged. You're being assessed and educated.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny. I ain't trying to hide from it. And, tell me somebody that hasn't burnt a liner in practice.
I didn't burn the liner. You know what I did? When I took the evaporator off, this was my first time when I was learning seal systems, my very first evaporator repair attempt. I thought that you had to solder where the actual soft aluminum metal or whatever dissimilar that metal is meets with the copper. So I started doing that, and then instantly I burned the hole. And I'm like, what's this? And then I'm trying to do it, and I'm like, oh man, this is turning into a nightmare. And then it dawned on me, you don't solder here, idiot. You solder over there. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. So, you learn these little mistakes. So, EJ, to your point, we all made them. He without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah. And where would you rather make them? Would you rather make them in the training area with Brother B and Rick there to coach you along, or behind? Because we've all had it happen right there in the customer's house, and that's where you don't want it to happen. So head on down there to TMM for their next course and make your mistakes there. Get this good training. And before we wrap this thing up, because I could honestly talk to you all night, but I want to let you plug a few other things, because you don't just have the in-person trainings. You're still doing your Voxer thing too as well, right?
I am, and I would love to get on that, but since you gave me the alert, like, hey, we're wrapping up, if I could just go back to that screen, and I would love to talk about the classes, and I would also like to talk about the intro, please, if that's okay with you guys.
Yes, sir. This is your spotlight. We're going to talk about whatever you want to.
This is for the community, man. I want to help them. Okay, so guys, check it out. We got our June 24th. All right, we'll stop there. We'll go right there's perfect. Guys, check it out. This is another one. Big. Can I have the whole spotlight real quick?
Yes, sir.
because I need to really talk to the people. I need to really talk to the people.
Oh,
Listen,
you.
guys, check it out. Don't think the seal system is everything. It's not. It's not. It's not. It represents a small fraction of the whole pie when it comes to appliance repair. It's a small niche, if you will. It's lucrative. It's the most profitable. But appliance repair is so much bigger. There's microwaves, dishwashers, refrigerators without seal system, dryers, all type of stuff. We have an intro class. This class is perfect if you have technicians that need training. This class is perfect if you've been watching the channel and you want to get into this. You see guys like EJ, Miss Ward, TK, Carson, all these guys, oh, Brother B, you like, man, you know, and you probably working in some factory, some warehouse, Lord knows what, but you watch the channel. This is the time. These windows don't come all the time. If you want to get into it and learn the fundamentals, this is perfect. A class like this, you come down, you can even apply. Anyone will take you with the credentials that me and my business partner give you. You graduate with a certificate. Is it state certified? No. Is it country certified? No. Is it Board of Education certified? No. But with the name that's on there, TMM, and when they go through our catalog and they see what we teach and they see what you've learned, they're going to respect that. I promise you. So again, our intro class is equally as important. Service Alliance, thank y'all for having me on here. I do this for the community. I understand that training is a big thing. And I understand that training, you can get it anywhere. But again, what differentiates us from everybody else, you not only get the theory, but you get the hands-on. Thank you, EJ and TK, for letting me get that piece on.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to add in here, we've talked about how much we value our partnership and how well the two organizations flow together. If you don't know, Service Alliance Group is about helping the business owners start, run, and grow their businesses effectively. And we want to bring the tools and resources to you to do that. We are not a technical business. We're not a technical social media. The Appliance Alliance Facebook group that we have, you can get tech support there. But Brother B and Rick at TMM Academics, they're kind of partnering with us to provide that technical side. We have the tech manuals and business stuff. You go to them and you can sign up and get the Voxer and the trainings. And, you know, you saw as I was scrolling through free videos throughout. They have different things that when you sign up with the membership that you can access on the website. It's very, very worthwhile to sign up for a low monthly price. Very reasonable, especially if you get in a pinch and you need to use that Voxer. You're gonna easily
Can I plug that? Can I plug that
Plug
real quick for those who don't know? What are they talking about Voxer? What
Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great joy to announce to you one of the best tools in the appliance repair industry, if not the best. Listen, we have an app. It's a walkie-talkie app. Okay, it's through Voxer. You have to go on your iTunes or Play Store if you have Android, and you have to download Voxer. You become a part of the community. You give me your name and your information, and then I add you to this group. When I add you to this appliance repair community, walkie-talkie group, here's how it works. You're out on the job. You never seen this headache before, this nightmare. You're like, what the hell is this? The schematics is missing. You're on an island alone. alone. No, you're not. Brother B and TMM, we're here to the rescue. The whole beehive. Bzzz, we come to help you. You go on Voxer, you open up the app, and you say, hey guys, look, here's my model. We ask that. That's the rule. You got to put the model number. Because, you know, we have our own tech sheets and service bulletins, so we have to know what you're working on. Guys, here's my model number. Here's my unit, and here's my complaint. I got a customer complaining of blah, 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 blah. I changed out this, that, and the third, and it's still not working. Can you guys help me? Man, we show up, bro. We show up and we give a hand, but there's an unwritten rule. You have to contribute to your fellow man, because if you don't contribute and people start to, you get that reputation. One day you may be on that island and you may say, guys, I need help. I need help. And everyone's going to remember that when they needed help, you didn't offer no help.
Yeah.
You're going to be alone. But you want to be a part of a community where you help out people and people help out you. We also offer that too.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I encourage anybody out there to sign up, get the training, get the Voxer, go to tmmacademics.com, check it out. And if you aren't following TMM Academics on YouTube, make sure you're following them, because you'll learn stuff just from watching the videos they post on YouTube. But if you want to really get into it, if you really want to get that hands-on training, if you're like me and you need to touch the appliance and take it apart and do the diagnostics, get down there to Florida. What part of Florida are you in, B?
Miami, baby, the best. Hey, when it's 80, hey, listen to this, y'all. Y'all come down here in December, November. I'll be seeing these people coming from like Kansas, Canada, Washington, Wyoming, you name it, they come from. And they all come with their coach shivering. They get down here and they're like, oh man, this is lovely. You see them in South Beach after class having margaritas out of coconuts and stuff, enjoying the beach. Our weather's unmatched. Our weather's unmatched. Come on, you need AC because it's a little warm, but come on down, guys. And it's family friendly. A lot of guys come down and they bring their families, and then after school is done at 5, they go hang out with their families. Miami's a beautiful city, great districts, great food. I personally live in Hollywood, Florida, which in my opinion is the real Hollywood, not West Coast Hollywood, it's East Coast Hollywood. But out here we got beaches, great restaurants, good music. It's a thriving, and it's very a diverse community. There's a Latin community, Caucasian, African American, Asian, whatever you name. It's a real melting pot. So come on down to South Florida, and we're gonna take care of you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we want to thank you for being a partner, Brother B, you and Rick. Thank you for coming on tonight. For you guys and gals out there that have been asking that question, where do I send my guys for training? Where do I personally go to get training? TMM Academics is at the top of the list for me. Brother B and Rick do an amazing job down there. EJ can tell you, I know personally just from my experience being around Rick and Brother B for the past few years, these guys are the real deal. And they are a partner of the Service Alliance Group. So make sure if you do go, you mention that you heard about it at the Service Alliance Group, because we want to know that we want them to know that we support them, and we love the community that social media has created. Because it doesn't matter if it's TMM or Service Alliance Group or any of the other wonderful communities. We're all one big appliance repair community, and we need to help one another. And that's what it's all about. That's what Brother B and Brother Rick are doing down there. So if you haven't been to any of his courses, make sure you sign up. If you haven't signed up for his Voxer app, do it. I'm a member. I've been a member for a few years. I don't use it very much just because I'm so busy.
And it gets a little chatty in there.
I can tell you, it's an awesome community. and they're on the ball. Like when you go in there and you ask for help, there's people, and sometimes it's not all tech support. Sometimes it's just talking shop, and that's one of the things that we love to do. We love to talk shop. So make sure you check out all that stuff. Go to tmmacademics.com. Check out his upcoming events. And as always, if you haven't signed up for the servicealliancegroup.com, then what are you doing with your life? You know, get over there, sign up for that as well. EJ, you got any closing words before we bounce?
Man, you said it. You said it. That's, Brother B, much love to you.
Love,
we
peace,
just
and
want to do our
harmony.
part to support TMM and the whole mission, making better techs out there for the businesses that we support. Check it out.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We appreciate you tuning in to the Service Alliance Group and TMM Academics. Signing off. Peace.